Hey, Skyline here, and today I want to talk about ways Marth can use Wavedash and Wavelands offensively and defensively. I had a little help on this subject from someone who's very familiar with the properties of this tech. Therefore, I would like to open the video with how he feels about this subject. Blada, take it away.
Hi, I am Blada. I am the Wavedash using Marth. I find it useful for him and in general. It is good for whiff grabbing, whiff attacks, spacing / zoning, and as well as a movement mix-up as well. That is the key reason it's in SSBU. It's not supposed to be used all the time like in PM or in Melee where they spam it all the time. It gets slower and slower when used over and over, just like with Wolf, for example. Wavedash is just as useful as Waveland with the same benefits or similar benefit. So I suggest you lab it out yourself to see if you're comfy with using it as well. Also, one other thing I like to add, it can be used in a sense to fake out a smash attack, because if you do a Wavedash back, people will think you were trying to go for an attack and it'll force them to shield. And I have a clip of me fighting a snake where I did a Wavedash back and caught the grenade that he tossed at me. It can be beneficial when used in matches against projectile-based characters like Snake or Lynx, for example. I'd like to thank Skyline for letting me be a part of this video, and also a shout out to the homies, of Neil Altea. Thank you again, Skyline. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace. Have a good day.
As you heard, there are many ways to implement this into your playstyle. How often it's used and in what ways depends on what you want to accomplish with it. I personally rarely use Wavedash as an opt to go for defensive Wavelands. This is not to say Wavedash is useless, it just has little use in my playstyle. Still though, I will be going over different uses for offensive and defensive Wavedashes and Wavelands. So to begin with, I want to show the difference between a Wavedash and a Waveland. So to start off, offensive Wavedashes are mostly used as a bait and fake approach, whether it's in a tech chase or to bait a shield drop. Marth's Wavedash, if done right, allows him to be right at tip or F smash range, making this fake approach deadly if they drop shield. This fake approach is the most common and the best way to use offensive Wavedashes. There aren't really many other ways to use Wavedashing in an offensive wave just because of how much lag it has. As for offensive Wavelands, there are many more uses for them. For starters, let's take a look at how you can implement Wavelands for ledge trapping. This adds even more advantages to Marth's already great ledge trapping capabilities. This also puts Marth in a great position for fast fall aerials, but he does lose the ability to catch regular get-ups with F-tail and F-smash. This means it's better to use it at percents where Nair and Bear can kill. Other ways to use offensive Wavelands include juggling the opponent and exhausting their options, and tech chases on platforms to set up for juggling. Using Wavelands on higher platforms allows you to reset your double jump and continue to pressure the opponent. Using them for tech chases is more of a mix-up. You can choose to attack them from under the platform, but Wavelanding on the platform allows you to grab them and create a better juggling situation. Now let's move on to how to implement these two techs in a defensive way. For starters, Marth and Lucina have a neat trick they can do after a short hop Bear or Fair. They can jump before they touch the ground. They can also air dodge before touching the ground, which looks like this. This can make Buffer Fair or Bear safer on shield and Raw Bear a safer option for taking stocks. With this said, this makes doing Fair off the ledge a bit safer because now landing Fair on shield allows you to air dodge straight down or past your opponent, making it a good mix-up. One other way that's interesting but harder to implement is short hop Bear or Fair under a platform, then wave landing on the platform. Although this seems useful, I would still need to use it more to see how viable it really is. Just thought I'd share it here to see if anyone else could find a use for it. However, this brings me to my next way of using defensive Wavelands. It's similar to how offensive Wavedashes were used, but with a twist. Performing a Waveland on a platform gives you two important options. You can either drop down and perform another Waveland or run off and go on the offensive. This mix-up is great for the simple reason that you can catch the opponent off guard. They won't know if you will approach after the second Waveland or the fourth. If they do choose to approach, you can make them whiff and punish them for it. This gives you the ability to land on them with Dare and combo it into a tip or F smash. The last implementation of defensive Wavelands is landing. Landing can be hard for Marth, but using the various tools I've talked about before alongside with Wavelands allow him to have an easier time landing. Mixing things up is always best, and Wavelands allow for a fast momentum shifter that has a couple of iframes at the start of it. So now that you've heard the good about these techs, let's talk about the bad. Against other sorties or even characters that have good platform coverage, it's best to keep this at a minimal. In these instances, it's better to use them defensively so that you're not punished. Also in general, it's best not to overuse them. It's easy to recreate a pattern and become predictable. As long as you figure out how much of this you want to use and for what purposes you want to use them for, you should be fine. That's going to be the end of the video today. Thanks for watching. But before I go, I just want to say thank you for 500 subscribers. It really means a lot that people can enjoy and learn from my vids. So once again, for the 500 sub milestone, I'm going to be working on a Marth montage. I still might release a vid or two, but I have already started working on the montage. Also, small plug, but I do have a Twitter if you would like to follow me. I'm very close to 200 followers, so let's see if we can make that happen. So to end the video, I'll show a small montage of different ways I've been using Wavelands and Wavedashes. Enjoy.